Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of Opposition, Honourable Ministers and Honourable Members of Parliament. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the Fiji First Government's National Budget 2018-2019. I take this opportunity to thank the leadership of the Fiji First Government by the Honourable Prime Minister and Honourable Attorney General and Minister for Economy for bringing it home, this national budget focusing on the family. It all begins in the home, and I thank the Lord for giving the wisdom and the foresight to the leadership of the Fiji First Government to draw us back to the foundation, which is the family. In the sight of God, all Fijian families matter, and the billboards around the country are prophetic. Madam Speaker, Proverbs 2:6-10 says, "For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He holds success in store for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk is blameless. He guards the course of the just and protects the way of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right and just and fair and every good path. For wisdom will enter your heart and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul." Like I previously said, Fiji needs strong, decisive leadership with vision and purpose to propel the nation forward, leaving no one behind. The 2018-19 budget, as announced by the Honourable Minister for Economy, is pegged on empowering Fijians to unlock potentials in terms of economic empowerment. It takes advantage of sustained GDP growth, low inflation, high foreign reserves, and 9 years of economic stability. I will primarily focus on the budget allocation to the Ministry of Communications and also speak on why all Fijian families matter. This ministry is responsible for keeping the Fijian people connected to each other and to the outside world by providing efficient, competitive, cost-effective and accessible telecommunication and postal services. It is also responsible for supporting the development of Fiji's information, communication and technology sector by providing technical and strategic support to the industry. Madam Speaker, the ministry engages with the Fijian public over radio, print and online media to keep the Fijian people updated on government's plans and policies and to quickly alert the public to important information relating to public safety and security. And as we speak, Parliament sessions are televised, live, all over the country, and it is prudent that all members use the communications structure that is in place. Government funds the Mataiasi digital television platform, which provides a package of high-quality, free-to-air television stations reachable by satellite absolutely anywhere in Fiji. And as we head to elections, I believe that the opposition would love to promote their programs on this free-to-air satellite structure that is in place. And that's why it is important that Mataiasi is very instrumental and is placed in such a way that it will be an advantage to everyone in Parliament, especially Naya. And my good friend from my brother Karavati had alluded to yesterday about the jetty in Wanyambia, but he left out something very important in that. The reason why it was taking long, because they were not in agreement for the place where the jetty was supposed to be built, the site. So that was some of the information that he left out. He was blaming it on the government releasing the funds. But the discussions back in Lakemba, they were trying to decide where to have the jetty. So, Madam Speaker, Thank you. Madam Speaker, through Walesi, the Ministry aims to cultivate a more knowledge-based and civically engaged society and give Fijians the chance to enjoy high-quality television with their families and communities. The Ministry of Communications also manages all ICT systems in the Fijian government. The Ministry is currently undertaking a significant investment program to improve the reliability and efficiency of the government network to ensure that government data is more secure against cyber threats. The Ministry comprises the Department of Information, Department of Communications, and the Information Technology and Computing Services. The total budget for the Ministry of Communications in the 2018-2019 budget is $65 million, comprising $23.8 million for operating expenditures, $38 million for capital expenditure, and VAT of $3.2 million. The increase of $3 million is mainly attributed to a new allocation covering government's grant to Walesi, which allows Fijian families from absolutely anywhere in our country to access a package of free-to-air television stations via satellite or mobile device. Walesi is already transmitting from 17 terrestrial sites across the country. These include Nakombo-Levu, covering Great Suva area and areas from Tai-Levu to Pacific Harbour, Dongowale, Pacific Harbour to Namosi, Musmitanga, Singatoka, Kavu-Kavu, Outer Singatoka, parts of Nandi, Sambeto, Greater Nandi to Lotoka area, Lololo, Greater Ba area, Tuinreke, Tawua, parts of Ba, Koro, Tawua, parts of Fra and Nandarivatu, Monasagu, Central Vitilevu, Rakiraki, Greater Rakiraki area, Matawai-Levu between Rakiraki and Tai-Levu, Savu-Savu covers the Savu-Savu town area, Uluibua, Huya, Nambuwalu and surrounding areas, Dalaikoro, Lambasa, Senganga, Nandongo areas, Devo Peak, island of Taviuni, Kandaru, Punisea area, Levuka town area. Madam Speaker, the reason why I list out these sites is that previously we had only a few sites. We had only Nakombo-Levu, we had a South Ridge, and we had Uluivuya. So seeing that we have 17 terrestrial sites wherever you go in the country, even if you have your radios on, you'll still hear, whatever's coming through radio. Previously, when you go into areas where, pockets where you couldn't get the frequency working, you had to tune to a cassette radio or something. So that's why it's so important. Wherever you go around the country, when you have these terrestrial sites, you can even hear your radio throughout the country. The allocation in this year's budget will allow us to build on these primary areas and strengthen coverage previously only covered by satellite. This will mean that we will be installing higher powered antennas and more powerful transmitters to extend current terrestrial coverage. Any area not serviced by terrestrial means can be serviced through satellites. We are already covering islands in the Yasawas, Moala, Vikombia, Yadata, Rutuma, etc. through satellite. The cost of setting up new telecenters and expanding internet access to schools across Fiji, creating the infrastructure for a more knowledge-based and modern society. And currently, 29 schools equipped with telecenters. The schools are Ba Methodist High, Baulevu High School, Nukulo College, Lomowai Secondary, Lomaivuna, Suva Sangam, Levuka Public, Tai-Levu North, Rakiraki Public. Madam Speaker, just to mention a few of those 29 secondary schools. So we're expanding the reach to all our, not only the grown-ups, but to the schools as well. 6 new telecenter sites have been earmarked for installation in the 2018-2019 financial year. Fiji's ongoing digital government transformation, Digital Fiji, born from collaboration between the Fijian government and Singapore Corporation Enterprise, an agency of Singapore government. Digital Fiji is the flagship program in this overarching transformation of the delivery of government services. And Madam Speaker, last week I was in Singapore and just looking at how the digital platform has really improved the communications programs back in Singapore is something that Fiji can can work towards. And with this collaboration with the Singapore government, it is to our advantage, Madam Speaker. It will consist of the streamlining of processes of a number of government agencies, such as the Office of Births, Deaths and Marriages, and the delivery of a host of mobile applications. So you don't have to come right to Suva to get a certificate for a birth certificate. You can be in Wonolevu, you can be in Nayau, you can be in Nuku in Lakemba. And because of this sort of platform. And Madam Speaker, we see that it is about all Fijian families. They matter. You know, if you are giving birth, you can register from Lakemba or wherever, from Tawiuni. You don't have to come to Suva. You don't have to pay your boat fare, your airplane fare to come right to Suva to get this. And this is why it is to the advantage of our Fijian people. $19 million is allocated to LSE program to cater for the completion of the rollout and enhancement of services to include provision of data delivery and OTT services. Every Fijian currently has access to LSE, and I continue to repeat this, that it is there. It is for us, for the taking. If we want things to improve in a country, then these sort of platforms are an advantage to us. $300,000 is provided to expand internet connection to a total of 371 schools, equipping teachers and students with access to technology that will help improve learning outcomes and prepare for future e-learning initiatives. This is another program that we can look forward to, because students don't have to come right to the mainland to get all these sort of programs. But, Honorable Speaker, we're moving forward, leaving no one behind. Upgrading of ICT infrastructure will gradually improve and expand e-government services. Government fiber optic network project makes critical upgrades to the government network for the country. Madam Speaker, as we go around the country today, we see billboards in bold letters. All Fijian families matter. Improving the livelihoods of Fijian families is something dear to my heart. For over 24 years, my wife and I have been working with an NGO called Marriage Ministries International, now better known worldwide as 2=1 International Ministries. This ministry equips and trains couples in how to better lives spiritually, which is the foundation for families. Madam Speaker, Fiji last year acceded to the report on the Hague Convention of the jurisdiction, applicable law, recognition, enforcement, and cooperation of respect of parental responsibility and measures for the protection of children, 1996 Convention. Parental responsibility has been highlighted in this convention, and it says, parental responsibility is defined in Article 1 of the 1996 Convention as including parental authority or any analogs relationship of authority determining the rights, powers, and responsibilities of parents, guardians, or other legal representatives in relation to the person or the property of the child. All mothers and fathers have legal rights and responsibilities as a parent, and will have greater powers than any other, including the state, over the child, known as parental responsibility. Madam Speaker, the most important role as parent is to build an excellent child-parent relationship. This relationship to be fostered on love and respect for human dignity. The parent will provide everything that at their disposal for the upbringing of a well-balanced child in spirit, soul, and body. Parents play an irreplaceable role in the lives of their children. This vital relationship positively impacts on a child's physical, mental, and emotional well-being. The right of parents to maintain a strong involvement in their children's lives is very important. Good parenting is the foundation of a successful family. But tragically, the foundation of parenthood is being slowly eroded. To secure the foundation of parenthood for this generation and the next, it is important that legislation is put in place to explicitly protect the child-parent relationship from unreasonable intrusion from outside the family institution. Legislation to address the rights of parents to raise their children will be a way forward for Fiji. The Constitution of the Republic of Fiji, 2013, Chapter 2, Section 41, addresses the rights of children. 1925 U.S. Supreme Court ruling P.S. versus Society of Sisters, the child is not a mere creature of the state. Those who nurture him and direct his destiny have the right, coupled with a high duty, to recognize and prepare him for additional obligations. Parents are also responsible for disciplining the child, choosing and providing for the child's education, agreeing to the child's medical treatment, naming the child and agreeing to any change of name, and looking after the child's property. Parents have to ensure that their child is supported financially, whether they have parental responsibility or not. Nobody ever said, Madam Speaker, that children were easy to raise. They don't come with guidelines or instructions, and they certainly don't come with a pause button. What they do come with is a crucial set of physical and emotional needs that must be met. Failure of parents to meet these specific needs can have wide-ranging and long-lasting negative effects. There are essential responsibilities that parents must adhere to in order to foster their child's physical and emotional well-being. Provide an environment that is safe. Provide the child with basic needs. Provide the child with self-esteem needs. Teach child moral values. Develop mutual respect with the child. Provide discipline which is effective and appropriate. Involve in the child's education and get to know the child by spending quality time together. Communicate, communicate, and communicate. Although a parent's role in their children's learning evolves as kids grow, one thing remains constant. We are our children's learning models. Our attitudes about education can inspire theirs and show them how to take charge of their own educational journey. Be a role model for learning. In the early years, parents are their children's first teacher. When a young child begins formal school, the parent's job is to show him or her how school can extend the learning begin together at home and how exciting and meaningful this learning can be. Parents become their children's learning coach. In regards to marriage, Madam Speaker, it's been recommended in the...
Honourable Member, you have moved away from the budget debate. Please link what you're saying to the budget to make it relevant. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm just linking it to the family because the budget is focused on the family. And that's why I'm connecting it.
You're spending a lot of time
on the family.
More than the budget. So this is a budget debate, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And it is so crucial because a lot of the budget has been allocated to the women's...
I have made my ruling, please, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yeah. Madam Speaker, I just returned from Singapore yesterday, attending a conference focused on raising the next generation of leaders. And as we see, the budget has been put up that 60% of our population is below the age of 40. And it is so important that we have structures in place. And 9 years steady growth by this government is unprecedented, Madam Speaker. This budget is a family budget. This budget is inclusive and does not segregate or discriminate along ethnic, religious, color, or creed. And so I say all Fijian families matter. Finally, Madam Speaker, I fully support the 2018-2019 budget presented by the Honourable Minister for Economy in this August House on June 20. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.